people are really lucky. This slalom speed skater was racing down the mountain, minding his own business, when a camera drone suddenly fell out of the sky. Sometimes a gutter ball isn't the end of your bowl. Apparently, if you get 3 strikes in a row, you unlock the mystery player. As this guy walks away from his car, he does the obligatory check for his wallet, keys, and phone. There's just one other thing he's forgotten.
Oh, man.
If you're gonna go skating, make sure to invite friends that have good hand-eye coordination. Everyone needs a wingman that can catch skateboards this well. There's a fine line between crazy skill and an accident waiting to happen. Sure, this guy cuts some pretty tight lines on his snowboard, but that close call makes me feel like he just got lucky. Everyone knows that with a few YouTube tutorials, you can manage just about any DIY project around the house. It's just always better for you to have another set of hands to make sure this doesn't happen.
Yeah, boy.
You never know when you're going to need to fail in order to succeed. This is quite literally just that. Oh yeah, he totally meant to do that. This ice skater came to the rink to practice his speed skating, but he almost ended up getting an ice skating blade to the back of the head. I don't know if it's the driver's skill and training or just an extreme case of good fortune, but the fact that none of those passing cars were flattened is amazing.
You've arrived at your destination.
Thrill seekers here have the option to harness up and jump across a rickety bridge that's missing a few planks. Yeah, sure, it's scary, but the safety rope's always there to catch you if you make a wrong step. At least it should be.
Baba Booey.
This backflip almost took a horrible turn. You can tell how bad it was by the way the stormtrooper reacted. Lined up for a penalty shootout, this kid did more than just slot the ball into the goal. He somehow managed to score a basket with his shoe. While most people just tap out, this guy decided to go for it. Sometimes the most skilled athletes aren't on the baseball field, they're sitting in the crowd. This fan managed to catch a foul ball one-handed while holding his child in the other. This fisherman was just inches away from hand-catching a glorious meal. Just when he thought he was going home empty-handed, luck had other ideas.
Bingo.
This reporter came dangerously close to a landing plane.
Whoa, spectacular!
I know she's excited, but it's nothing to lose your head over. When this guy slid his meal across the kitchen counter, he immediately thought he had ruined his dinner. Thankfully, a stool was there to save the day. After pulling off an impressive snowboard rail slide, this adrenaline junkie had to think fast or risk going shin first into a guardrail. Fortunately, his quick thinking paid off. What's the appropriate reaction when you pull off a 1 in a million cap flip? This man couldn't believe his luck, and honestly, I don't blame him. Some people are so environmentally conscious they couldn't even litter if they tried. Who said recycling isn't cool? This ski jumper just wanted to get one last flip out of the way before Captain Buzzkill over here ruins everyone's fun. Just remind me to never invite the driver of that snowplow to a party. When you're good at both limbo and dodgeball, you can pull off epic maneuvers like this one. This is what the Matrix 4 should have looked like. Pool is a game of 40% skill, 60% hit, and hope. You can tell by the way the guy makes his final shot. Right idea, wrong pocket. It was just another day for this worker loading up the maintenance elevator. He checks the brakes are on, takes one step outside, and bam! The elevator cable snaps, sending everything hurtling down the shaft. Time to buy a lottery ticket, sir. Crossing a pool over floating lily pads requires speed, agility, and a whole lot of balance. You've also got to time your dismount or you're headed right back the way you came. When you're skating and you don't have enough time to dodge something in front of you, there's always that one trick that can save the day. When crossing the road, you're supposed to look both ways. It helps avoid collisions with cars, buses, motorbikes, and backflipping skiers. With the rise of porch pirates, couriers have to be extra careful to prove that they actually delivered your item. Thankfully, Mother Nature likes this house and went to the trouble of hiding their packages for them. This skier didn't time his flip well, but in the end, he managed to gather his composure and land safely. This tow truck and police officer stopped on the side of the road to help a broken down truck. Little did they know, another out-of-control SUV would drift within inches of where they'd stopped. They say too many cooks in the kitchen spoil the broth. Well, this guy was all on his own when he slipped on a piece of cardboard. Maybe that's the reason he was somehow able to save the soup. One of the core principles of fishing is, as soon as you feel the strike, start reeling in. But there's one strike that makes these guys want to head for shore.
Holy moly!
Give a man a fish and he'll eat for the rest of the day. Give a man a net and a speedboat and there's a good chance he'll catch a fish without even trying. This bowling shot is the perfect example of failing successfully. I guess this is one way to get a 7-10 split. Despite being a heavy, wrought iron fence, it seems to be a little shaky as this girl tries to open it. When it finally does fall off its hinges, she was lucky she wasn't standing in the way. When you finally watch Fast and Furious and you want to see if you can pull off the same moves in your Russian Lada station wagon. If that curb wasn't there, things would be very different. At normal speed, this video just looks like a low-altitude ski jump with a few somersaults thrown in for good measure. But slow it down, and there's more than meets the eye. This guy was enjoying a leisurely ski through the resort when all of a sudden something didn't feel right. When you're terrible at both baseball and basketball, why not combine the two and invent a whole new sport? You gotta admit, sinking that basket does look impressive though. So is that 3 points or a home run? You can't have cheeseburgers without the most important ingredient, a piece of your finest American plastic cheese. It's basically a tasty frisbee and it flies exactly the same way